Here's the result for the guy you filled out the survey for. He gets a C+. plus. This guy is rather so-so. Not too good, not too bad. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's not just all talk, he truly has the ability and drive to go far in his career. He works hard, plans carefully, and sets very high standards for what he wants to achieve. This kind of focus usually leads to real success, not just dreams.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he is more likely to break down than bounce back right away. He takes setbacks very seriously and finds it hard to let go when something upsets him. He won't yell or make a scene, but he does struggle to recover quickly from tough times.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work might respect his talent, skills, and hard work, but they may not find him very easy to warm up to. He's a quiet worker, keeps to himself, and doesn't go out of his way to be friendly or gentle with others. He can be blunt or even seem cold, so some may find him tough to approach.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's unlikely to show much pride or celebrate your success openly. He tends to keep his feelings bottled up and struggles to show warmth or encouragement, so you may not hear praise or see much excitement from him. Don't expect hugs, big smiles, or words of support. He may act almost as if nothing has changed.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he may not resent you openly, but it could bother him deep inside. He's not someone who argues or picks fights about such things. Instead, he might pull away, become quieter, or seem more distant than usual. You might notice him getting lost in his work or being less present at home.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money very carefully and takes managing finances seriously. He plans, keeps track of expenses, and avoids wasteful spending. He may even come across as a bit strict or controlling about money, wanting to make sure everything is just right.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives well within his means and doesn't try to show off or pretend he is richer than he is. He pays close attention to what he can afford and makes sure all expenses are planned and sensible. You won't find him buying flashy things or spending just to impress others.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both his money and his mindset. Generosity doesn't come naturally to him, whether it's about sharing, giving gifts, or just going with the flow in life. He doesn't easily show warmth or softness, and it can feel hard to get close or see his caring side.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be controlling and a bit secretive about money rather than open and honest. He wants to make sure everything is managed just right, so he might make decisions without discussing them first or keep details to himself. This can make you feel left out of important financial matters, like your opinion doesn't really count.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is more likely to believe that housework should be clear and organized, but he may lean toward traditional roles, expecting you to handle most of it unless you talk things through early on. He likes routines and wants things done a certain way, but he won't naturally jump in and share chores without being asked or given clear plans. He isn't lazy but can be a bit strict in his thinking. So, teamwork in the house must be built through honest discussion, not left to chance.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is likely to help by giving suggestions or pointing out what needs to be done rather than rolling up his sleeves and doing it himself. He likes things to be orderly and his own way, but that doesn't mean he'll always join you in the messier parts of chores or childcare. He's not lazy, but he might not jump in unless asked directly.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He isn't the type to argue loudly or get into big fights, but he also finds it hard to truly understand your side. If you bring up a problem, he is more likely to pull back, go silent, or stick to his own way of thinking rather than meet you halfway. This can leave you feeling unheard or alone, especially when you need support or understanding the most.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's not likely to shout or say hurtful things, but he can become very cold and distant. He tends to withdraw or go silent rather than lash out, so you might feel a chilly wall between you instead of a heated argument. His anger shows up as moodiness, long silences, or just walking away from the situation.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he does get angry or upset quite quickly, especially when things don't go his way or when routines are disturbed. Even small issues can frustrate him, and instead of expressing it openly, he tends to pull back, become quiet, or act distant and moody. Don't ignore how this makes you feel. Emotional well being is as important as physical safety in a relationship.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or take responsibility when something goes wrong. Instead of admitting his mistakes, he's more likely to stay silent, hold a grudge, or quietly act as if nothing happened. This means you might end up feeling blamed or guilty, even for things that were not your fault.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He's likely to respect clear boundaries, especially if they are explained calmly and firmly. He avoids direct conflict and does not usually push or argue when someone sets a limit. If you say no, he isn't the type to keep pressuring or ignore your wishes.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of talking about it or trying to understand your feelings, he might become quiet, withdrawn, or even a bit moody. This reaction isn't about punishing you, but about him not knowing how to handle his own disappointment or feelings.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him not to use your private moments to hurt or embarrass you later. He's not the kind of person who would share your secrets or make fun of you when things go wrong. You can feel safe that what happens between you stays private, even if you have disagreements or he is feeling low.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is generally faithful and not someone who is easily distracted by other women. He is focused, keeps to himself, and isn't drawn to chasing excitement or new adventures outside the relationship. You are unlikely to find him flirting or seeking attention from others when things get tough.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He's not usually over possessive or openly jealous. He keeps his feelings inside and doesn't try to control what you do or who you meet. If he does feel uneasy or unsure, he won't chase after you or start arguments. Instead, he might become withdrawn or distant.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his protective nature is not really about being controlling. He's more focused on keeping order in his own world than managing or bossing you around. He values calm and predictability, not having power over you.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is likely to see parenting as something that should be well organized, but he may quietly expect you to do most of the daily, hands on work unless you set clear expectations together. He'll make sure routines are followed and things run smoothly, but he won't naturally step in for messy or emotional parts of raising kids. Unless you clearly ask for help or divide responsibilities, you may find yourself carrying the bigger share while he focuses on planning, discipline, or giving instructions.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's likely to lose his temper quickly instead of staying calm. Small mistakes or a break from routine can make him frustrated, and he may react with sharp words, a raised voice, or by pulling away and not talking at all. He doesn't mean to be harsh, but he finds it hard to keep his cool when things go wrong.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may not fully support your role as both a mother and your own person without clear, ongoing conversations. He tends to notice routines and results more than emotions, so he might see you mainly in your role as a caregiver, expecting you to keep things organized and smooth at home. You'll need to speak up for your needs and make sure he understands that both roles matter deeply to you.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he could be the kind of man who supports your career at first, but then expects you to step back or quit once a child enters the picture. He values order and routines and may believe that the mother's main job is to manage the home once there are children, even if he doesn't say it from the start. He may not understand or support your wish to balance work and family without you explaining it clearly.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is likely to just act polite on the surface when it comes to your parents, rather than showing real warmth or open affection. He'll remember manners and be respectful in conversation, but genuine closeness, like sharing jokes, deep talks, or going out of his way to include them, won't come easily to him. While you won't need to worry about rudeness or conflict, you may wish there was more heartfelt connection. He is more likely to expect your family to adjust to his ways rather than going out of his comfort zone to fit into theirs.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to become withdrawn or distant rather than handling it calmly. He doesn't deal well with emotional stress or unexpected drama, so he might pull away, go silent, or avoid family gatherings for a while. If your family life is complicated, you may end up being the one smoothing things over and keeping peace on both sides.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may seem modern and practical with you in private, but expect you to be a traditional supportive wife when his relatives are around. While he might not say this openly, his comfort with routines, order, and what's seen as proper means he values family expectations and appearances. He may quietly expect you to dress, speak, and behave in line with his family's customs during family gatherings or festivals.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his family, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than openly support you or take your side. He finds family conflict very uncomfortable and prefers to avoid getting involved, hoping the issue will disappear on its own. He may act distant or silent during arguments and at times could even quietly lean toward their way of doing things just to keep the peace.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is not openly a mummy's boy, but he does struggle to choose sides in any conflict, especially when it involves his mother. Instead of standing up for you or for her, he is more likely to keep quiet, avoid the argument, or hope it goes away on its own. This means if there's a clash between you and his mother, don't expect him to clearly support you or make a strong choice.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the kind of man who will share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values privacy and tends to keep personal matters to himself rather than discussing them with others, even family members. If he's upset or troubled, he's more likely to withdraw or stay quiet instead of seeking advice or sympathy from his parents or siblings.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all of this analysis, this guy gets a C plus. This guy is so, not too good, not too bad, a bit mediocre. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out often feels steady, serious, and organized, but not very warm or joyful. There will be routines and clear ways of doing things which can bring stability, but also leave you craving more affection and fun.